Hi, in this video I would like to show you how to create a datasheet in Speakerbench. And to do that we load up Speakerbench in a web browser. In this case I choose the Microsoft Edge browser and I load up the web page. And the datasheet creator is this third button here, so we're going to push that button. And in Datasheet Creator, the first thing we see is that it starts up with this import page, which we will ignore for now. So we go to the General tab. And in Speakerbench, we work kind of top down. So the first thing that we can do is we can drag and drop or select a file. So I will do that. I will find this ADV file that we have created previously in the footer and drag it into this box. And now the information in the ADV file is loaded into the datasheet creator. We can see that some information here is filled out. Also in the advanced tab, all the advanced parameters. And there are also some information that is not filled out, like SD. And that's because we have only worked with impedance data until now, and we cannot derive this parameter from impedance data. And in the simple tab there's also an Xmax parameter. And then there's a JSON summary. There's no table yet and there's no data sheet yet because we haven't typed in the necessary information for it. In the General tab we can see that we have here some environmental air properties. They are necessary for a box simulation. That's the temperature, the pressure, and the humidity. And based on these three, we calculate the sound speed in air and the density in the air. And in some cases, when you hover over this, you get a tooltip, like here, sound speed in air and mass density of air. And in other cases, there are no tooltips. They are self-explanatory. And so let's start to put data into the datasheet creator. And we need to fill out these red boxes. And the brand, this is a CS driver. We will type CS, and the model number is this 1488, and it's an 8 ohm driver. And yeah, the boxes turn blue when they are good. And the comment field, we can now delete the information. This comment field was actually something we typed in the very beginning when we were collecting the data into a single data object. And it has traveled with us through the process and ends up here. So that's why it's good already when you collect your data to use the comment field for sensible information like this. But we will leave in the comment field that this data was measured in 2018 with the Woofer Tester Pro. And we can also here type the manufacturer. It's not a requirement because the box is not red, but it can be nice to have this information added in the data sheet. And also the data provider, and that would be me in this case. Then we go to the advanced sheet and we fill out the SD, and in this case I can fill out the diameter of the diaphragm and type apply, and then it'll calculate SD. But you can also enter SD directly, and when you push the apply it will then calculate the diameter instead. And then we go to the simple tab, and down here we have an Xmax value, which is an optional parameter. I know that this driver has an Xmax of plus minus 6 millimeter, so we will type that. It can help a little bit when we do the box simulations as a guideline for what excursion we should allow. And we push the apply button. And by the way, when we typed in SD and calculate, we now have this data sheet. You can see this changed. There's a JSON file that we can download now. And we can also see in the JSON summary that all the data is here, the brand and model number, and also the Xmax value down here at the bottom. We have created this JSON summary for a second purpose, and that is that some simulation software they might like to import data from Speakerbench in a simple way, and you can just mark this, and you can copy it to your clipboard and paste it into another application. And one application that supports this process is V2XCAD by Kimmo Saunisto. And then the last tab is the README tab, which basically just explains the necessary parameters to generate a datasheet, and that's it. And the datasheet is ready to be saved, so we right-click on it and save the link, and we will save it here in our test folder. This is an SBD file, and that stands for Speakerbench datasheet, and it has a date stamp and a timestamp here. Push the save button, and now the data is saved for using that in the future. And then I will show you the import. The import tab is just a very simple home-cooked mini database where we can load up some drivers without having to do all the previous steps, and it's a little bit easier just to play with something in the datasheet creator. We could, for example, load this L16, and that would be exactly the data that we have processed now. We push here and push the apply, and then you can see the L16 is here, but I can also choose another driver. Could be this W18 driver. Push the apply button, and now you can see that it loads up the W18 here and all the parameters, and it's a larger driver with 126 square centimeter SD. So that's it. That's how the datasheet creator works, and also a little bit about this import tab.